enhancing access and awareness of assistive technology in Pakistan. AT Revolution.
Not only for the access to information and communication, but it's also contribute to your education, it contribute to the employment, it contribute to so many things like in your life. It may be easy your mobility while moving from one place to another. It identify you, connect you with the people of like-minded people. It's uses even for the advocacy purposes that we are using and advocating for the rights of people with disabilities around the world. And I think the most important thing that before the assistive technology, one disability was disconnected from another. That helps now to bring the communication challenges overcome. And now even a blind person can talk to the person who are deaf or deaf blind. So I would say that it's really revolutionary, and it's creating a lot of empowering infrastructure for people with disabilities and their representative organizations.
One of my friends, she's in America, she started doing some research over the things which are actually available for a person with visual impairment or blindness. So she came across to me with this PAB and PFFB. उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि इनको reach out करो.
She told me to reach out to them. They definitely provide you with approaches that can make your life easier and more peaceful. From there, I found assistive technology like JAWS, TalkBack, and even the white cane, which is also amazing. It also helps me to walk on my own. In white canes, we have different kinds of assistance as well. These are some tremendous things that assistive technology provides to a visually impaired person.
Basically, wheelchair, मेरी गाड़ी,
Basically, the wheelchair and my car helped me step out of my house, be part of society, and continue my learning. If I hadn't gone out, I don't think I would have learned the skills I have today or the work I'm doing now. By using this wheelchair, I could attend events, courses, go to the institutes and my university. All of this became much easier, and so did learning. Completing my education, working as a graphic designer, video editor and videographer. I learned all of that only when I stepped out and started engaging with people. That's when I started learning from others. I think without assistive technology in my life, I might not even have been able to leave my home.
Children learn in different ways. We have various assistive devices, like this kit, through which children recognize letters A, B, C. The same kind of kit is available in Urdu as well. We also have a writing slate that children use for writing, along with a stylus. Then there's the math slate. It's used for solving counting and math problems, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all through math slates and types. We also teach children computers, using laptops as well as Braille displays, where whatever we do on the laptop appears in Braille on the device. We also have books for children that are easy to read. Some books are embossed with shapes, so that children can touch and feel them, and understand angles and forms. We even have the Nurani Qaida, with one line in printed text and one in Braille. So children can read themselves, while parents can also follow what they are reading. This is a white cane, which is used for mobility, to move around safely outside. And this is a mobile phone, which is also an assistive device, because it has TalkBack software, just like using a computer. We also teach how to operate a phone through training.
Alhamdulillah, after this assistive technology, a lot of avenues have been opened for the visually impaired individuals, and a lot of challenges have been now resolved. For example, with the usage of talking softwares and screen reading applications, the reading material, they are now fully accessible except Urdu, because For that, we do not have enough, resources or softwares. But as far as the material specifically in English is concerned, those materials are now purely accessible, and we can read and write each and everything.
Medical treatment and help.
The problem in Pakistan is not that the people are not using assistive technology or assistive devices, they are not having it. Our medical fraternity has not yet realized that medical treatment is not limited to medicine and surgery. There is much more to that. Modern medicine has given them many other choices. But unfortunately, in a country like Pakistan and many other countries, poor countries, the medical treatment has been limited to medicine and surgery, and people are not giving any attention to that. The governments are not giving any attention. The need is that the government, the politicians, and the people who are at the helms of affairs, they must realize that we can make 20% of our population productive by giving one or another assistive device.
Education.
असिस्टेड टेक्नोलॉजीज जो है वो PWDs या हमारे जो differently able
Assistive technology is very important for PWDs and differently abled children to learn and grow faster.
As I mentioned, a sound learning experience is what I perceive and I believe is based on the autonomy. If a learner has no autonomy, they cannot research properly, they can even not express their ideas in the form of written themselves, it gets really tough for them to excel in their learning. So I am masters in applied linguistics, and I have been able to come so far with the help of assistive technology.
It was like a dream of mine that, inshallah, I would do a PhD, and that dream is coming true. But this laptop also has a big role in it because I listen to different books. I download from audio sources using YouTube or from archives where many audiobooks are available. I download them, listen to them, and then prepare for exams. And in this way, I reached my PhD.
When I saw their system, I bought a mobile phone. I had one, but I used a tablet. I used it visually because I have low vision. I could not use it effectively. When I came here, I bought a phone. When I saw the screen reader, I realized that a screen reader exists. Before that, I had no awareness of these things. So I started using a phone and a computer. It made my life very easy.
In education, there is mobile software, computer software, TalkBack, and all these new apps. We are benefiting from them, and mashallah, we have reached this level.
Mobility.
There are lots of gadgets for people with intellectual disabilities. If a teacher or mentor is guiding you, there are applications that guide you. They even tell you about the paths. You can take notes for your memory. There are a lot of gadgets.
I have been using this wheelchair for 13 months. I use it to travel. I use it to go shopping, to go to someone's house or wherever I go. I used to feel that I could not go out of the house. It was a very serious injury. With this device, I can do all the work that I want to do. If I have to go somewhere, I take it with me. Without it, it is very difficult for me. I can go to the washroom by myself. Before, I could not even get out of bed. Now, with this wheelchair, I can go anywhere. I can do all the transportation by myself. Honestly, if you do not have a wheelchair, there is nothing you can do. My brothers and sisters support me, but not fully. They don't work wholeheartedly. When I'd ask for some water, they'd tell me wait for 3 to 4 minutes. When you ask for tea, they tell me to wait. If you want to work, then do it quickly. Otherwise, just don't do it. After getting a wheelchair, if I wanted water, I went myself. If I wanted tea, I went to the kitchen myself. I can put on a cylinder and heat the tea. So this problem has been solved. You know, if a person is sick, it becomes a burden on others. A wheelchair makes a disabled person's life much easier. If they feel like a burden on others, they can spend the day outside and return at night without problems for others. Many difficulties are solved if there is a wheelchair.
I have been using this wheelchair for 15 years. First, a wheelchair broke down. Then I came here and they changed it. Then another wheelchair broke down. Because I go to school in a wheelchair. If there is any event, I travel in a wheelchair. I cannot walk with a walker. It takes time and it is difficult. So a wheelchair is very easy.
Similarly, mobility, is not an issue now in this modern day life, because there are a lot of applications such as Yango and Driver and others, which the visually impaired people are using and wherever they want with dignity. So they are now, the visually impaired people, they are not, we can say that they are not dependent on others.
Social inclusion, daily life.
The wheelchair has also helped me a lot. I can play sports on it, I can play games on it, and moving around has become very easy. Before I had a wheelchair, I used to get bored. I would lie on my bed all day and night thinking that I was very weak and could not do anything. But when I got a wheelchair and went outside, I realized that I could do everything.
Earlier, I faced a lot of difficulties and had to rely on others. Now that these devices have come, it has helped me tremendously. For example, we have an app called Cash Reader through which we can identify currency notes. When we place a note in front of the mobile camera, it tells us the value. We also have color recognition, and when we take a picture of a document, the app reads it aloud for us. Before, when we didn't have these devices, I had to go to people, show them money, or give them documents to read. But with these technologies, my life has become much easier.
I am a housewife, I manage the home, and I am also a lecturer. I am taking advantage of the changing technology and benefit from many devices. If we talk about the kitchen, whenever new machinery comes, I try to bring it into my kitchen first, because where Allah has placed limitations, He has also given us ways to make life easier.
Before, I used to see everything and do everything. After losing my sight, we got Assistive Technology, new apps, and even did the CIT course. We became aware that we could run everything on mobile laptops. And also do online work, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all social media. We realized that we had a complete life and that we are no less than anyone else.
We should be clear in our minds about what we want to do in the future. Sometimes people have devices, but no clarity on how to use them. Even among non-disabled people, we often see them wasting time listening to songs or watching TV. But these devices can change lives. They allow us to support our families and start our businesses. No matter which disability they have, a deaf person can see and visualize, and a blind person can become a good speaker in marketing and explain ideas effectively through a system. When you understand it properly, you can perform well in the market. That is why systems and technology are very important.
Before I had hearing aids, I was completely deaf and could not hear anything. There was no deaf person in my family except me and my elder brother, so I always felt left out at functions or gatherings. Putting on hearing aids made a difference. I could hear environmental sounds and know who was behind me, but still, if someone hid their lips while talking, I couldn't fully understand them. I had to lip read. Because to understand what they were saying, I had to look at their lips, and the speaker had to sit in front of me and talk to me. In workshops or events where the speaker was far away, hearing aids were not very effective. That's why I needed sign language too.
Employment.
I faced many difficulties without a wheelchair. If I had one earlier, my problems would have been solved. After getting a wheelchair, I have gotten a job, earned an income. I have siblings with me, alhamdulillah. I got married on 22nd December and I have more responsibilities now.
Besides that, I've gained autonomy. For example, I am now working as a special education teacher. I not only use assistive technology in my own life, but also train visually impaired individuals to make the best possible use of assistive technology.
Last year, through the Sindh Public Service, I passed the commission exam, BPS 17, and was appointed as an assistant director in the Social Welfare Department, Sindh. I say that they can fully restore themselves if they don't get disappointed and keep working hard. They will never fail.
Success stories and AT transformation.
When I lost my eyesight, I was only 14 and I was partial blind at that time.
So I didn't need assistive technology that much. Through my left eye, it was completely dark. But in my right eye, some vision was left. At that time, I was handling things with ease, but there was pressure on my vision. Slowly and gradually, when I lost my vision completely, I started feeling the urge to do my own work. I was completely dependent on other people, like my brothers. If I were going out, I needed assistance. If I had to draft a simple message, I would have to give my phone, my entire privacy, to someone else. That was not acceptable to me. Your privacy gets violated. Your social life is disturbed. You are not able to interact. You cannot progress in education, and you can't even think about a job. These were the challenges I was facing. I felt stuck within myself, thinking it was the end of the world, and nothing could help me.
Life has become very easy since assistive devices and assistive technology came into our lives. Earlier, we used to think, if we use a laptop, how will we use it? When we saw sighted peers using smartphones, sometimes we felt an inferiority complex. But as technology progressed, that feeling of inferiority started to disappear. It slowly turned into motivation.
At that time, it was the old days. My parents had an old mindset. They didn't let me use hearing aids. They thought that wearing a wired hearing aid would look bad. I was in the 3rd standard. Until the 7th class, my mother still didn't make me use hearing aids. But my teachers told her that if they want me to study and understand better, I should use them. Even after using hearing aids, I didn't benefit, because my disability was sensorineural hearing loss, in which nerves don't process the sound properly. When I got hearing aids, they told us how to use them, how to switch them off, and that we should avoid water and sweat.
Mechanism and systems for AT.
At the Paraplegic Center in Peshawar, we were able to use assistive devices such as heat shears and orthotic devices. We were trained on them and also given training courses. Similarly, the orthotics department staff and PNOs guided us. This is a multidisciplinary approach from our side, from their side, from patient therapy. We are given these training courses. Then we get to know which assistive device can be used for which type of patient. When a patient comes, it is easy for us to tell them that this will be made for you, and you have to use it. Let's suppose there is a patient, we have mobilized him, and his wheelchair is also ready. If he sits for a long time, his pressure sore is getting worse. We modify his wheelchair seat and device so the sore doesn't worsen. That way, he can do his work, continue his exercises, and be rehabilitated at home. That is the need for assistive devices.
Policy and advocacy.
At the government level, our province has no policy or disability act for PWDs, unlike other provinces where assistive devices and technologies are available. If the government approves this, all persons with disabilities, whether visually impaired, physically challenged, hearing, or speech impaired, will benefit.
It should be the government providing the assistive technology, because I see it's the state obligation to provide the assistive technology for persons with all disability constituencies. And why it should be subsidized? Because there is a two-way relationship between persons with disabilities and poverty. When there is a disability, there is more chances of poverty. If there is a poverty, there's a extreme chances of having persons with disabilities. And I think if the assistive technology is not provided and subsidized rate, this challenge is becoming bigger and bigger. So the assistive technology should be provided by the government with the consultation of the organizations of persons with disabilities from all constituencies. That's important, because if persons with disabilities and their representative organizations are not consulted, I think there will be a lot of changes on accessibility, adaptability, affordability, accessibility and quality, maintenance and follow-up.
Assistive technology is really needed badly. It is the cry of the time that the government of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan realize that we must provide appropriate assistive technology or assistive devices to people with physical impaireds, so that they can live a normal or near normal life.
If a physiotherapist is doing their work, if I am doing my work and trying to make the patient independent, the patient has gained strength, work has been done on flexibility, but now the patient doesn't have any assistive devices, then tell me, how should I make them stand? If a standing frame is not available with them on the spot, then how can they stand at home? All assistive devices should be available in every hospital setup, because if a patient cannot stand, how will his progress continue? How will our work progress?
100%, it should be provided, because honestly speaking, our institution provides talking watches, talking MP3, and white canes. But students do not even have 200 rupees to buy a white cane. Even now, we order our talking watches and MP3s from China. A talking MP3 costs 2,500 rupees, but we give them to students for only 700 rupees, so at least they can benefit. Of course, we cannot cover the entire issue of visual impairment across Pakistan. That's why the government should give us full support, so that we can also live in the mainstream, just like everyone else.
Hearing aids should be provided at the government level because not everyone can afford high-quality ones. For a child's cognitive development, sound is essential. That's why it is very important that they are given hearing aids, and it is the government's responsibility to ensure these are of good quality. Some analog hearing aids create so much noise that children stop using them, which makes them useless. But digital hearing aids are of much better quality. Though more expensive, they actually help children hear properly. And when a child can understand better, naturally their education will improve. Their abilities will grow with age, and they will stay connected with their environment.